Welcome back to the Jesse Rucinski Show. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Hopefully you had a good weekend. You got to do some cool stuff, and you got to enjoy it with loved ones, friends, family. Who cares? As long as you got to enjoy it. I went and saw midget wrestling, strangest thing ever, but still had a good time. So welcome back. Thanks for checking me out. Today we're getting into something that I heard come out of the president's mouth. Made me, I stood there laughing for a second. A lot longer than a second. All of us, laugh a lot longer than a second whenever he opens his mouth, because every time it's just something that makes us all stop, scratch our head, and just be, I don't even know the word, mind boggled. Like when he opens his mouth, we all become as confused as he is when he's trying to say what he's saying. And that's more than obvious. So anyone could try to argue me on that one. I mean, every time he opens his mouth and he looks confused, he sounds confused. And the world makes all kinds of excuses for him. It's what they do. That's what they've been doing. Yeah, since he decided he was going to run, make excuses for him. What? Oh, he's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with him. Yeah, nothing to see there. Nah, bruh. I don't even like the word bruh, but bruh. Like, there's a lot going on there. But when he said that they need to hold Vladimir Putin on trial for war crimes, it brought a lot of stuff, into my head. A lot of it I can't repeat. Some people listen to this have kids, so I'm trying to be a little less vulgar. I started out good, had those middle episodes, and all kinds of bad things were happening, where I was just angry at everything. Now I'm trying to be better again. But we've heard a lot about everything happening in Ukraine. I just shared one to the Facebook page, an article about them finding that missing mayor and his family, tortured, dead in a shallow grave somewhere, which, I mean, we all pretty much figured that was, what had happened. But, we've all heard perspectives from both sides, no matter, who you are. And there's a lot of theories going on. And he keeps mentioning the New World Order, and the media keep, like, all of them agreeing. It's just really, weird, and makes it hard to believe a lot of it. And again, they've gone after Putin before, NATO has, for, not falling in line with everything. Maybe he's only one with the set. Again, that's one of the theories out there. He's standing against them, trying to, do globalist idiocy and all that stuff that they're trying to do. Then there's, Ukrainian side, which is, the Russians and Putin are these monsters, killing all kinds of innocent people, slaughtering all that. And I'm not, denying any of it. And I'm not going to try to say Putin isn't, a bad human being. I mean, he's kind of proven with stuff he's done, again, throughout his whole entire reign so far. The whole time he's been in charge, that yes, he does do bad things, and no, he does not care. So I'm not trying to say that he's a good guy anyway, because, well, history shows itself that he really isn't. He's had one goal in mind, and that was to get it all back, to bring Russia back to its old Soviet Union days, get all the territory, bring it back to its power, its prestige, and all of that. So I'm not saying he's good at all, but we have seen, that's the Ukrainians, and everyone said, Putin's just a bad guy. But then if you listen to, Russians that live in Ukraine, they're saying that it's all the Ukrainians, causing all this and slaughtering people as they try to leave to get to Russia, and that they were killing off Russians, there for forever now, trying to get rid of all of them and do all kinds of really terrible things to ethnic groups, minorities, right? Like all of it. And again, we see a lot of that, regardless of who you are. If I've managed to see it, through all this stuff, with how much Facebook and media doesn't let me do a lot of things except for certain social sites. So thank you to those sites that actually let me see things, platforms. But that's what they've been saying this whole time. The Russians that are in there, is that this has been going on since well before the invasion. And that's what, caused all of it. And again, there's three, four, five sides to this whole entire thing, which is what makes it, you know, so interesting and such a dumpster fire in a cluster truck, there you go, of, everything. Because there is so many different sides. And, normally there's two sides to every story. And the truth is normally somewhere in the middle. I've said it before. I believe that, that's the way, most things normally work out is, there's two sides. Or if there's three, like no matter what, the truth is normally somewhere in the middle. But this one's got so many. And, it just makes it so weird. But regardless of what anyone thinks, what I think, what you think, what anyone does, because again, I'm sure there's people on here that, that listen that are on all sides of that somehow. Yeah. I don't mean someone's on all of them. I mean, there's people from all of it that are there. And regardless, lots of innocent people are dying. And that's the part that, everyone, that pisses me off the most about it is that innocent people are dying. You guys go, kill each other off as much as you want, the thousands of innocent people like that had nothing to do with it, regardless of what's actually happening, what anyone thinks, who cares. Innocent people shouldn't, dying in the middle of it, is really the worst thing about it all. War is a thing. A lot of us have been through wars, lots of reasons and lies for all of us that we did go to war. Everyone has their own different thing. There's different, agendas. There's different stories as to why everyone went and did everything. But no matter what, innocent people are dying, and I always think that sucks. They just happen to be caught in the crossfire of, stupid, which is running rampant all over the world. No one can deny that. I think it's coming from, all sides. Like no one's hands are clean and all the stupid. Everyone, pushes their buttons and twists their knobs to cause, certain stupids. And again, no one should be able to deny that fact. I mean, you don't even really need a big brain to figure that one out. But regardless of everything going on, I'm just, like I stopped. As you heard me just stammer through the words right there. Like I stopped. Like he should be held on trial for war crimes. Like granted, is he committing war crimes? I, without a shadow of a doubt, do believe that. Anyone that knows anything about Putin, we believe that. I mean, look at Syria, like everything else. Like, duh. It's kind of what he does. But holding him on trial for it, like that's the one that really stuck out for it. And it leads a lot of questions. It opens up a lot of questions, a lot of things to answer. Like when, like, will they issue a warrant to, for him for war crimes? When will they do it? What will they actually put on it if they do it? Where will they hold it? The trial. There's different options for all of that. So what comes from all of that is a really big question in there. That's actually sadly, probably the simplest part of this whole entire thing with him mentioning holding him on trial for war crimes. Like that's the easy part. Oh, sorry. Does anyone actually see Putin showing up? Like that's the actual easiest part because we're pretty sure we all know the answer is no. Yeah. Regardless, do we see him showing up? If anyone says yes, I don't even know. They're setting up in your dome that I can't even understand. I met a lot of weird people throughout things, lots of brain damage, head injuries. That's pretty much like he's not showing up. So there's the easiest one to answer. The next one is, who, what, when, where, and how. Like, it's easy to figure all that out. They do it, then they say it's going to be here. Like, it's not easy for us, but if they do it, setting all that up will be easy. But then the big, predicament of it is, at least the thing that's been in my head the most since the whole thing, is really, how do they get him? To get him there, to hold the trial, like, how do they get him? Like, that's an actual really good question because we know he isn't going to come on his own if they issue warrants. They were holding on trial for war crimes, be here, like to arrest, like we know he's not turning himself in. That one, is another one of those. If you think that's actually in the realms of possibility, I don't ever even want anything that you're on because it turns your brain that bad. Like he's not going to turn himself in if they do it. He's not coming. We all know that. And then, so if he won't come on his own, then it gets us into the tricky thing. How do they get him to get him there? Because, there's all kinds of, groups like, let's say just Blackwater, for example, the guys used to, do all of that, mercenaries and all that. Like those guys can get in there and get them. But how do they do it now with everything going on? I mean, there's other sides they can come in from, but really look at the Black Sea with them trying to get Odessa and everything down there, and Crimea, they have that, which makes it difficult. On land, I mean, again, there's countries to his east, where they could probably, get people and move them across. But I mean, that's still really tricky because they have to have, like, their borders are probably very good right now. Let's just to say the least. For security purposes and all that, just to be ready for anything. Again, there's not really anyone to the east that really I could see pose an actual threat, like a real threat to them. I really don't see any of them. I don't think anyone really does. And then there's like by air, but look at the airspace there. Going from Ukraine and all that, like, that. But so many flights and planes and everything have pulled out of the country, not doing business there anymore. So how would they get one in there without them knowing that someone got in there? Because they got radar and all kinds of stuff all over the place to make sure they see everything coming. So how would they do it? That's really the big one. Because I mean, you do have to answer that question. How the hell would we get would they get someone in to get them? I think it'd be dumb as hell to try to send someone in to get him. I just think that's stupid. And he has too many crazy people around him to turn him in or do anything else. Again, do a coup to get rid of him. Get him out of there and get all that. But I just don't. I mean, we keep seeing reports from everything, but does anyone really see? Like, he's got an axis of crazy people. He's just got crazy people all around him. Everyone, knows that there's still those old, school guys that are there that will have his, back and keep anything from happening. And we all know that. Anyone that doesn't think that, like, you need to wake up and actually use your brain or talk to someone that actually knows anything about this stuff. Because like that's just I don't see it, happening. And if they did, the really big question is, like, it's the part that it's been flashing in my mind the whole time. If they do any of those crazy things, get rid of them, get them out there, to hold them on trial, arrest them, get them out, like any of it. Like, do we not think that he has, as he has, again, a group of crazy people, like someone right there in command somewhere that could push the red button and cause all bad things to the planet to break loose. Like really, really bad things could happen. And we know that he has the crazy people. They're not going to all be together because of, want to have them all right there in case anything bad happens, so they all don't go down. And how is that not seen as a giant, like, form of escalation if they do any of those things? Or if they put a warrant out for them, like, that'll be a sign of escalation. If they try to do anything to get them out, when they do one, that's a form of escalation. Saying that we need to take them out, which even the president said, Lindsey Graham said, which didn't help anything. That's a form of escalation. If they keep saying they're doing all these things not to escalate, what the hell do they think any of those things are going to do? And the only way to get them out is to really escalate. Like, and it, I know it, Again, he has people all over the place that are just as nuts as him to push the buttons and cause really, really, really bad things to happen to the world. Which isn't good. And it's kind of, I believe that there are crazy enough people to push the button and, nuke countries and cause all the fallout and bad things that could happen from that. Like, not any honest person will say there are people crazy enough to do it in the world. And we know there's people crazy enough to do it in the world. Like anyone like with common sense should physically understand that. And anything that they do, I mean, like, what would be the point? Like, oh, we got a warrant out for him. Yeah, all he has to do is never leave Russia. Ooh, you can't get him unless you do something bad. Which just again, no matter what, all of that is just a sign of escalating, and for some, really escalating. Actually, and for someone that says we don't need to escalate, kind of seems. Again, look who it's coming from. None of these people have a brain that are in the administration that do any of the talking, but it's really not going to help anything. In fact, that'll probably make things even worse. Do I think we need to do something like, there's got to be, something you can do. But again, the same people that say we can't give them planes because that's a sign of escalation, but we can give them all these Stinger missiles and anti-aircraft and everything so they can blow up their tanks and airplanes out of the sky. Like, we'll give them that. Like, so you're giving them our weapons to blow up Russian equipment as a form of escalation, but giving them a plane to blow up, they do the same thing. Like, none of them make sense. They're all dumb. They all don't do themselves any favors. And that's really all of it in closing. I mean, this whole thing has just been run by idiots. And like, they're all dumb. Like, they really are. At least most of them. And innocent people are, continuing to get slaughtered. And that's the thing that really just, irks me. Be as dumb as you want. Like that, I just don't like seeing innocent people killed, no matter, who's doing it. It could be on the streets of Chicago, overseas, anywhere. Like, innocent people dying, sucks. And everyone's just playing the blame game right now. And that doesn't help anything. And again, there's people on all sides that believe everything. I believe the truth is somewhere in the middle. And I really do have a hard time believing that when, the mainstream media, the Democrats, like everyone's agreeing something's fishy there. That's just in my heart, because we haven't agreed on anything in ever, decades. Like, so everyone agreeing just has me slightly freaked out, but I don't give a damn. I just want to see innocent people not being slaughtered anymore. And, you say you don't want to escalate, then stop doing a million things to escalate and think that it's not escalation, because that just makes you sound stupid. And anyone that says he's doing exactly what the president should do, you're stupid. And like, there's just so much in it. But that's where I'm going to leave that for the day. All I know is, regardless, I think we can all agree that innocent people dying, and they have nothing to do with any of it, they're just trying to live their lives, sucks and is garbage. And really just, it's been happening for decades, obviously, but across the world, doesn't make it any better. And it's really dumb. And I want to give a quick shout out before we leave. Good job. Elon Musk talking about starting his own social media, or you do instead buying, having the most stocks now. He's the largest stockholder in Twitter and getting put on the board. So see if that's the way to turn all that stupid around. Because dear God, I care what Jack Dorsey said in his statement. Like, dear God, did they get really, like, there was stuff I was seeing. Like, you can see gangbang videos on there, but you can't like see anything conservative because it's all fake news and all of it. It's just mind altering. Granted, I only go on there to follow like a few artists, that draw stuff and do all that. So not really on there a lot, but see what he does with it now that he has more stocks than anyone. No one can really say anything. So good on him. We'll see what happens. But good on him. And special programming thing, I might have something special tomorrow in the works if it works out. So I'll be paying attention to that, be looking for it. Possibly be by a different name, but it'll still be on this one. So it'll still be on all the same platforms. It'll be something a little different that I've been wanting to do for forever, and it might actually finally be working out. So be looking for it tomorrow. If you don't see it, it means it didn't work out, this week, but hopefully it does, because I think it'll be really cool. I say thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Again, if you're listening anywhere, share it out to whatever socials you have. It only takes a little bit. Follow along on YouTube and Rumble for the videos, Cloud Hub. Subscribe there, like the video, leave a little comment. Like, it helps, no matter where the video is. Share out the audio. If you're listening on good pods, please like go on and also follow the YouTube page, Rumble page. Subscribe, like the video, comment on it. After you listen to the episode, you still go on there and do it. It helps out. everyone share it out and follow along on the Apple, Google Podcast, Spotify, whatever your preferred is. Because then if you don't see it pop up on Good Pods, it's still there. And I still do it every Tuesday and Friday. And again, if I pick up that, finally get that one project that I wanted to get going, then that'll be up there tomorrow again. Still trying to work it out. As of right now, it's on, but I'm just telling you, it might not. Things change, but and follow along on everything and you won't miss anything that I do. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. Enjoy the rest of your week. If I don't, hear from you tomorrow, if I do, if you do hear from me tomorrow, enjoy the rest of your night. But I'll be back no matter what by Friday morning. So enjoy the rest of your week. Taco Tuesday, eat some tacos. Enjoy those. Tacos, my friends, are delicious, and Taco Tuesday is a fine thing to have on Tuesday. Because, really, who doesn't like tacos? But be good to each other. And until next time, my friends, peace.